back, relax, unwind. Say what's on your mind. Welcome to One Mic, One Mic. You might learn or might teach somebody, might reach somebody. Welcome to One Mic, One Mic, One Mic.
Little table mic.
All right, we back on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. This is One Mic. I am A1 of One Mic. Got my mans with me, Dre. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing well, man. How you feel today, brother?
It's good, man. It's good. College game day, I miss it, But I'd rather be right here where I am.
Absolutely.
I promise you that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sheldon, what's happening, man? I wish y'all could see this. He got a mic in his hand, his headphones on, and his glasses to accent that.
Oh,
So,
yeah, you know it. I'm in character right now.
Let me say this for producing. Yeah, exactly. What's going on, big man? How you doing? So we live at the Smoking Jacket, Cigar Lounge, Cedar Hill. My girl, the flyest in Dallas, Roz, Miss Entrepreneur herself. And shout out to Roz. Before we get started, I just want to let you know we changed topic today. Want to give a shout out to some of the VIP guys, the members. Lewis with P&P Pest Control. He had an unfortunate thing happen in his family, so he wasn't able to make it today. So we sort of pulled back on what we were going to do with black business and black entrepreneurship. Want you to know, Lewis, we send our love, man, and our condolences from One Mic. We with you, brother, in prayer. So let me introduce the guests, and we're going to move this thing right on. Got Marcus Stitt with us. What's happening?
Oh, everything's well.
Real quick, man, let's share with us what it is that you do, bro.
I'm in the entertainment industry, behind the scenes. That's what I'm into.
Well, I heard behind the scenes is the best place to be, though,
Yes, sir.
It ain't
yes,
about being
sir.
on the stage with the light on you. Not all the time, huh?
You got to put the light on somebody.
Exactly. Phil Lyles, how are you, brother?
How you doing?
It's good, man. Glad to be here, bro. Glad to have y'all be a part of the round table, man. Share with us what it is you do, man. I'm very interested in that.
I am what they call an educator here in Dallas. I work with kids who are disadvantaged, those kids who who live in disenfranchised areas, and I affectionately call myself an academic achievement specialist. And I only say that because it takes a lot to educate a child. It's not just something you get a manual to do. So education may take books, but educating kids takes more than books.
We were speaking earlier, man, before we got started, that if you don't have somebody or some avenue to challenge your mind, and of course we need education, but sometimes we need real life lessons. And those of us that have partaken of certain roads, I think we have to share those stories with our youth because we can make a difference. If you don't have the groundwork, it's almost hard to be educated in the classrooms. So I think what you're doing is a big thing, man. We need those avenues for our youth. And I really want to work with you because I do a lot of things in the community. Not so much here in Dallas because I don't live here.
Right.
But I really want to talk to you after the show.
Okay, no problem.
So I'm going to introduce now our last guest, Fred Durham. What's happening with you, man?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
It's good, bro. He just walked in so fly, you know what I mean? We had to invite him to the round table. So what is it you do, man?
I run C3 Credit Consulting.
Really?
So I help people change their lives and get it back on the
right
track as far as their credit and getting the power back in their hands to do what they need to do.
Wow, I like that, man. That was epic, man. Getting the power back in their hands.
Oh, yeah.
That's real, man. So not to make a joke of this, is this something I could just like slide you some money under the table and bam, or is this a process?
It's a process, but it's legit quick process.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you gonna have to sign your contract like everybody else. And
Right.
follow instructions.
Yeah.
So
You say legit quick.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, man. So our topic today is, I guess it's more of a question, and we'll just use it as a topic. And this is just from us talking as friends and enjoying this atmosphere. Is there anything, and I asked this to our group, I asked this to our podcast followers, to everybody that follows the show, is there anything in life as a young adult or as a kid that you aspire to do, and for any reason you just was derailed or you didn't follow through? For me, that would definitely be, believe it or not, I wanted to be a commercial airline pilot. I just thought pilots were the flyest thing, and I wanted to be a part of that. But I had reasons that I didn't get to actually fulfill that. Do I have any regrets? No. And this round table isn't about regrets. We just want to put our stories out there so that if there's anybody that's aspiring to do a particular thing in your life, we want to show you what not to do, or maybe you can listen to our stories and reprogram what you're doing. So mine was a pilot, and before I get in detail to that, I'm just going to ask everybody at the table to share with us what your dream or what your aspiration was. Dre, I'm going to give it to you first, bro.
Okay, but before I start, man, you show you want to talk about that Denzel flight first, but we'll get back to that, right?
Hey, I'm that dude, man. I'm
yeah,
telling
you that dude for real,
maybe not,
man.
Maybe not the nose candy. Hopefully I wouldn't have been on the vodka before the flight.
Hey,
but
hey.
definitely, I would have definitely had that swag with my uniform on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I'd have come out that motel room with that swag. Yeah, I was that dude.
Yeah. Well, listen, A1 on the real, man. There's so much I've done in my life, but education was one of the areas I wanted to go into as a youth, man. Started really early on. I wanted to be a secondary science education teacher. Went to Morris Brown in Atlanta, Georgia, man. I veered off into trying to make that endeavor, but what stopped me was a little yellow girl in Detroit, man. Yep. I got married young, man. Chef's mama, man. Yeah.
Okay.
And if one thing that I like to tell a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, especially my youth, my son, one thing that'll stop you in school is starting a family really early.
Oh, definitely, man. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we barely mature enough in school
absolutely
to take care of ourselves, and then you bring on two different entities, a wife and a child.
Yep.
And your focus is going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, if you truly care about who you with in your life, you're not going to focus so much on school anymore.
Right.
That comes with maturity.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I get that, bro.
Yeah,
I
you
get
gotta
that.
you know, if you get married, you're gonna want to take care of that girl. So you're gonna work harder. So it's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna derail you, and that was one of the things that derailed me.
Yeah. I thought you was about to say you was chasing something
Yes, sir.
yellow and it didn't even pan out. But at least, I mean, I know you married this girl. You know.
Yeah, it did. She's a sweetheart. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. You know, everybody knows she's a sweetheart. You know. Yeah. So that's what happened, brother.
Share with us, man.
You know, actually, man, I have had many derailments. I would call it many derailments, but I just go back to coming out of high school. I wanted to go to college. I tried to go to college, community college, and I should have gone off to college. But with that being said is, you know, you have to have some support and somebody to push you, to really push you, because they see something in you that you don't see in yourself, but you have it in your mind that's what you want to do. But for whatever reason, I couldn't stay focused on doing that. So I went to the Navy.
I know what one of the reasons.
Oh, no.
Don't look at me. I ain't going to say nothing crazy.
So I went to the Navy.
I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, Dallas is a fun city to live in when you're a young adult.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're not very, very focused on what you're trying to do, There's a lot of distractions in Dallas,
yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, I got into everything that was going on.
Right.
So yeah, it's a lot of distractions in this city, man.
Yeah, so
And I mean that in a good way.
yeah, you know, so coming out, you know, even in my memory book today, it says that I was supposed to be an accountant, vacationing in Hawaii right now.
I like your style, brother.
You know, and I got a picture of a BMW in the center of the page. This was
Really?
what I was supposed to do
Yeah.
in life.
Yeah.
So, needless to say, man, I end up going to the Navy, and I think my main reasoning for going into the Navy was everyone went to college. I said, you know what, I need to do something because I cannot stay around here. So I end up going to the Navy, and I feel like the Navy was my college. You know, those 3 years that I gave. So once I got there, you know, same situation, didn't have that extra push, or I'm not gonna say that push, but support of you have a counselor there, you know, saying that you shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that, opposed to just saying, hey, I'm gonna help you get there. You know, we got to that point, so they got me out. That's when I got out the Navy. So I attempted to go to school again.
Let me ask you this, because going to school again, once you was in your military career,
After.
well, I mean, you were vested in.
Oh
the
yeah.
military. So that didn't give you like the push, or did you have? Let me ask you, did you have anybody that could show you, hey man, you've done this for them. Here are some of your avenues. You must use them. Did you have anybody in your corner with that?
No, you know, when I say that, I didn't have that person to just stay on me. Hey, let's do this, and do that. This is what you should do or can do. I know you can do it, you know, because I wasn't pushing myself enough.
Yeah.
But then life got in the way.
Oh yeah.
You know, a car note came, that insurance came every
Oh,
month.
I remember how fly you got when you came back home.
You know what I'm saying?
That was
So,
one of your first things.
yeah, man. So I had to start paying that. So I'm like, I got to get a job now.
Yeah.
A job, not a career.
Right.
You know, so I got a job and I stayed on the job. Now, I don't have any regrets of where my life is now today whatsoever.
Right.
But I would tell anyone, if you coming out of high school, figure out what it is that you want to do, or seek someone to help you figure out is that you're good at and what your love and passion is.
Yeah, and more important, your love and passion than what someone may see you as, because you have to really, really, really be engulfed into what you're doing. And more importantly, if there's an outside entity, they need to encourage you. And if they experiencing what you're doing, they need to share those experiences. The reason why I say that and I ask you what I asked you is because my military career, if I had more guidance from the outside, see, I depended on my superiors to teach me and show me. But they have a job as superiors to save the government money.
Exactly.
So a lot of your avenues, they don't want you to know about. And you know my particular, where I came up a few days short of something that was life-changing.
Exactly.
But I didn't know. And even though my granddad had been military, you know, I'm third generation military.
Exactly.
But they wasn't wanting me to go anyway, which is what we talked about earlier, Marcus. My granddad cried when I told him when he realized how excited I was to be a part of the military. That hurt him. I seen my granddaddy cry 2 times. When he buried my grandma, and when I told this man how excited I was
about going to the Army.
I'm serious, bro. No, I was in there. But I'm about to go and sign. I'm supposed to go to Germany. And he was like, no. My dad, Vietnam veteran, man. Getting probably, I'm sure you're getting some bread today. He 100%. But he didn't share with me how to get this, man. How to set myself up for my future. So I failed at that.
And I think that's where I am at now with my nephew.
Yeah, you definitely are.
You know, here he is, you know, he has a talent to play football and will get a scholarship. But he says, I don't want to play anymore. I tried to convince this young man, if you get a scholarship, take the scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just go to school for free and do what you have to do to stay on the team. I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm in a situation where I need to, you know, guide him, hey, pick 5 schools that you want to go to. 3 in-state, 2 out-of-state. But I don't think he understands, or he's not hearing me. he not listening.
Oh, he listened.
Yeah,
I know y'all's relationship.
You know,
He listening,
and
bro.
I'm like, man, if you go to school in North Carolina or Washington D.C. or whatever, out-of-state fees is going to kill
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And I said, your family, you're going to be the person that's going to incur the cost in this, because you're going to have to get student loans, and you're going to have to pay those student loans when you finish college.
Yeah.
And as soon as you finish college, they want that
They
payment.
want that money, yeah. But I think let me encourage you to be for him what you didn't have, as far as a coach outside of the
That's
inside.
it. Yeah.
You know, because you have an experience of not truly using what you had.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? For real. You know, we talked about this.
Yeah, exactly.
But because of your experience and because of your position God has put you in his life, yeah, you still got it. And he might not respond the way you
Want him to respond.
But he listening, bro. He
Yeah.
trusts you.
Yeah, you know, so now I'm like, hey, you know, talk to your counselor, you know, so you can find out what type of academic scholarships you can get or some kind of assistance to go to school for free, you know, a part of it for free. Because I keep saying, the more you can get for free, the more your family can help you out, get through college, and you're not forced to go get a job.
Right.
So you can really focus on what it is that you want to do. And so when you get out, you have a career and not a job.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Very
something that you
important.
want to go do
Yeah.
every day and get up and do. Because sometimes I do not feel like getting up,
Oh yeah.
but I don't hate it enough not to quit and not to get up anymore.
Well, you got more in front of you than behind you on it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So and this is a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
For real.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
But
so-
anyway, I'm gonna go to you, Marcus, because of what we just said, doing certain things and not having the support. I mean, when your dad told you, you know how they felt, period, about the military, that totally derailed you with that. But I know that wasn't your ultimate, what you wanted to do. Well, it was your ultimate, though. I'm just gonna let you share it, kick that, man. Kick it with me on that, your experience.
Well, as far as military is concerned, I was only really interested in being one thing dealing with the military, and that would be a jet fighter pilot. That
You wanted to be an aggressive pilot.
yes, that's me. I go harder and don't come at all.
Wow. So,
And I just had my grandmother, and she would say, well, a place for a black man is not fighting a war for somebody else.
I got
And,
that.
and it really at the time I didn't really I heard it, but I didn't take heed to it as much as I do now, as much as I see it now. I say, as far as the way people in society treat not only the black folks but the military veterans,
Oh yeah.
the respect is not there.
My wife works with vets, man. That's her job, but it's also her passion. And she was able to live out her passion later. You know what I mean? I'm sure she had a dream what her childhood, what her adult life would be as a young lady. But life happens, like Sheldon said. Later in life, she was able to do it, and that's what she takes tremendous pride in helping vets, man, and I see it in her. So I commend her. I mean, it's
The key is, I think the key is what you said. It's about passion.
passion.
If you find passion, you'll never have a job. The job is really, you don't call it a job because you love what you're doing. If you love what you're doing, you're not working per se. You're actually going through the steps of working physically, but you're not working because the passion is there. And as far as goals, you really, really have to have goals. But the bigger issue is having motivation to implement the goals that you put forth. And you want attainable goals. And so with working with young people, a lot of times you don't want to kill the dream. because you're trying to make it attainable. What you talked about you want your son to play football, you wanted him to maybe not go as far as North Carolina.
And actually, that's his nephew.
Okay.
Yeah,
his
Sheldon.
nephew.
Sheldon has taken
And
on.
not knocking him, but
Right.
you're just trying to get him something that's a little more attainable, or something that he can wrap his arms around, and he can get it wholeheartedly without it being a strain. Because a lot of times we may get to our goals, and then when we get there, we can't maintain it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
In your particular story, what was your
man,
thing? I mean, watching
Okay.
TV.
This is-
what did you want to be?
this is me.
Because I know you didn't think you were gonna help the world.
Hey, this is me. I grew up on a college campus,
Okay.
seeing
Did
doctors.
you play college ball?
A little bit.
Because you got the size, man.
Yeah, now I do. You know, gravity took over.
Life happens.
Yeah, life happens, and then I started being more involved in lifting weights and things of that nature. But at first, I was playing basketball, things of that nature. But playing sports was a big issue in Mississippi because we had nothing else to do. Education and sports was everything. So, me growing up, seeing my parents educating people in the South, it just was a no-brainer that I would do it. It wasn't forced on me, but I would just mimic what they were doing. So I found myself saying to myself too. Let me back up.
Let me interrupt you real quick. I have to ask this, not to sidetrack, but there's a lot of HBCUs in Texas.
Right.
I don't think there's near as many as in Mississippi.
Exactly.
Do you think because of what you all went through there, that's why there's so many there?
I think so. I think the grind was different. I
Yeah.
think the grind to get an education.
Funny you use the word grind because it was a grind.
It
wasn't
was a grind.
Wow.
You know, with the dirty South, it was about oppression, and the only way to get out of oppression was through education at that point.
Okay.
So no one really talked about entrepreneurship then. They wanted you to get a career. They wanted you to find something that you were passionate about, and you could do that through education. And from there, the educational part of it, that's why a lot of land grant schools became available in that area after a lot of the marches, the Martin Luther Kings of the world and people like that, Medgar Evers. So it became, Mississippi became somewhat of a college state because of that.
I've noticed that years ago, but in my maturity now,
Right.
I kind of analyzed it a little bit,
Right.
and I wondered if it was because of the struggle. You know what I'm
It
saying?
had to be because of the struggle.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. But it's just interesting to get your take on it
Right.
because you were there.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know I was going to have a career in education, but I did know that I was going to be helping someone do something.
Yeah.
I knew because I saw my parents helping people.
Yeah.
So whether it was education or whether it was any other profession that did that, but just like I said, by default, I went into education because everybody that taught me, my parents taught. So it was like that preachers teachers kid syndrome. I was caught in that vacuum.
Your PK
Well,
is something else.
No, what happened? Yeah, it was one of those things where if I did anything wrong, it was magnified twofold. But at the same time, though, I was getting that motivation that we were just talking about. If I had a goal, I had people I could go to readily.
Inside, at home,
And everywhere.
yeah.
Because all we saw was college. All we saw, that was that brass rail at the end that we were going to go to college. That was something, if you didn't go to college, you weren't hip.
Yeah.
Now going to college or being that A student is not the most hippest popular thing at the schools. The popular thing now is to
Well,
be.
it's not even popular in the home anymore.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
For
that's because of ignorance mostly.
Yeah.
Because parents didn't go further than, and then life took over, like we said, with children or mishaps and things of that nature. So
Well, it's moms today, man, that would basically rather have their adult son live with them and go get a good job
Exactly.
than go and educate themselves on a higher level.
Exactly.
That's a
Whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic because I think a lot of these single females are forced into that situation now where they're
Because of who we
relying.
are as men.
Yeah, because they need to be able to survive. They're surviving by themselves.
Well, I will say this, man. I think my mom could have definitely used my help as a young man, even though she had a husband. You know what I mean?
Right.
But later in their life, he wasn't capable of. And I know she could have used my help, but I have to give her credit in this. She wanted me to go and better me for my future. You know what I mean? So when I did want to go get a job, that was strictly for me. Like, I don't want you to work. I want you to go to school and get your lesson. Well, Ma, I want a job. So she said, well, you take your little check, you keep gas in your car. Because they bought me a car at 15.
Same here.
You at least buy your own gas if you want to work. But I prefer you don't work. And I commend her, in her absence today. Like, I really, truly understand. Man, my mama wanted me to have a future more than the help she needed. And a lot of people don't do that anymore.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Like my sons, bro, y'all can come home if you need to, because we're not going to close the door. But I'm not going to make it easy. We said that earlier as far as I'm not going to give you everything and not give you the tools to make it. Because when me and mom no longer here, what you going to do?
So that
You know what I'm
stems
saying?
into that portion. Like, how do you, get them prepared into their next, into being what they want to be, or
You have
desire to be.
You really have to start early childhood intervention,
Coaching.
early
Coaching.
childhood education.
Yeah.
Anything that's constructive and instructive from the outset, finding mentors and volunteers. Mentoring and volunteerism is key.
And in the home itself, just listen, man. See, our kids tell us, and I don't want to get sidetracked, and I want you to tell us your childhood dream, all right? But listen, our kids tell us who they want to be. They tell us what their goals are without even realizing. If we listen and pay attention from the time I'm going to say 6, 7 years old, when we trying to force them into, I mean, everybody doesn't, but we don't have to make them play football. We don't have to make them play baseball. Listen to them, watch them. If they have a fake drum set and that's all they want to beat on, we need to encourage that.
A1
'Cause
TV
it may
Jake
be their
said it
passion.
best, man. He said, if you can't figure out your purpose, figure out your passion. For your passion will lead you right into your purpose.
Exactly.
And sometimes as parents, we can see that. We see their passions, but we don't push
Well,
them
we
into.
don't get into it.
No, we don't.
We
don't.
have a one-track mind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Talk to me.
Sometimes parents, we don't see it too.
For
Right.
real, man.
As a kid, they like the wind. They blow all type of directions. So basically, as a parent, I think we need to do is just support our kid. If our kid want to tap dance one week, let them tap dance.
Right.
They want to be a professional
Now,
swinger one week.
20 years ago, I wouldn't agree with you. But I totally agree with that today.
Because you never know what your kid gonna be.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Oh,
you said, you never know what their passion gonna be. You never know when they're gonna catch that niche in life to where they can just jump on and be like, I like this. And if they like it, they'll excel
apt.
at it because they'll put their
Something
time in
more
it. Yes,
apt
exactly.
to
exactly.
excel.
So right, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, if I saw my son tap dancing 20 years ago, I'd have had a problem. No, I'm being serious. I'd have had a problem with it. I thank God that those like Deion Sanders were open about, hey man, I take tap dance lessons to have better footing. That opened my eyes like, whoa, what? And then I'm thinking, well, you know what? That ain't all that bad.
Exactly.
But we don't think that way. You know? You man, what you just said is tremendous. Because if we watch
That is so true.
whatever it is they're doing, if he want to ride around on a stick horse at 9 years old, if he want to walk around on a stick horse at 9 years old, we need to encourage that and start looking for a horse.
Right.
We don't have a bunch of black rodeo stars in Las Vegas at the end of the year. You know, I think this year there's maybe 2. Shout out to Corey Solomon down by Prairie View in Hockley and what is it, babe? I can't think of his own. Yeah, of course Fred Whitfield, but what he retired 8-time champion. But my point is, we don't have a lot because we, as black parents, aren't supporting it. But yeah, if he walking around on a stick or something like, man, you too old, get off that broomstick. Now I go buy him a horse and let's get this talent brought out of him. We don't do that. If I'd have seen my sons tap dancing, man, and I knew better, we would have been down there getting some training.
Right.
Not for football, but so he can be on the stage. Same thing, you might have been the one putting the lighting on him tonight.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna be a proud dad with a big old bouquet of flowers for whoever he danced with, not for him.
a lot of parents have misconceptions and stereotypes about certain careers. Because if your child, say for instance, they want to go Hollywood, or they might want to be an actor or be something that is not, quote unquote, that typical job that you know you're going to get some earnings, and they know it's a struggle involved in it, and they figure they might know their child's positive attributes and things of that nature. But a lot of times we don't want them to struggle as hard as it takes to struggle. I mean, sometimes you have to let them go out and make it on their own and see, and then be supportive and let them come back. And if they come back from it, then they've learned even through failure. So failure is not always a bad thing. It may cost a bit, but at the end of the day, they've gained in knowledge, because that's where we are as older parental role models and things of that nature. We're older, so we've learned through bad experiences.
Yeah.
And good experiences. Those have been our life lessons. So a lot of times we try our best not to allow them to go out and have the world eat them alive, but sometimes it takes that to gain character. And if they don't gain any character or any type of perseverance, then they'll always fail. I just think that if your child has a goal, support is key and motivation is key.
Let me okay. So we talked a lot about the children.
Let's not forget now that Fred hadn't shared his. I want to get that out of him.
You holding
and
back,
I
Fred?
To touch bases. No, he hadn't had the opportunity.
Okay, Fred, we about to give Fred this opportunity right now. Fred, the mic is hot. Fred, go on.
I'm not putting you on the spot. I think you have a story to tell. That's all.
Yeah, because he just said something, and I don't want to go this the other direction because.
No. Go ahead and finish and wrap it up.
Well, listen, no. Well, he went a route on talking about kids, right?
I guess that's my.
But as adults.
Right.
Where I wanted to go is,
okay,
as adults, sometimes we miss our passion.
True.
We miss it. And then we can see where it developed. Like, for example, I look at my musical end of it, right?
Right.
That might been an area where it wasn't pushed in my household because being a pianist, it wasn't, a lucrative business, right?
Right.
So although I had that talent growing up, that was something my parents wasn't going to push 100%.
Of course.
Like, what is this? How much
how
money
does
you
this
make?
look? Yeah,
make
exactly.
playing the piano. But as an adult now, I can see different avenues where it helps me progress in life. It's my passion. It's fulfillment for me. You see what I'm saying?
I really do.
It's different.
Yeah.
So what I was going to get at too, but I'm not about to get into Fred push it because we got to hear from Fred so we'll know where this ties in as adults. Is it too late to go into?
It's never too late.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever.
Your original.
Go ahead, Fred. Fred, I don't want to.
I want to say something real quick. You know what Joe Sample said?
What did he say?
He said a black man and a white man taught him how to make a living, and it was those piano keys.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
That's deep.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I had to think about that one for a minute.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
deep.
I need everybody to turn their mic off for 1 second so Fred can get his out. Fred, your mic is hot.
Hey man, listen.
So what was it, Fred? I mean, as a kid.
As a kid,
Or young adult,
as a kid, I had one thing growing up. I was gonna be, didn't have a clue what it was. But I said I was gonna be a CEO.
Oh, wow.
By the time I was 25, But like Dre said, you got derailments when you grow up and you go through life changes. So, I mean, I was fortunate enough. I was a great athlete, played basketball, got a scholarship.
You play basketball?
Yeah.
You got a scholarship?
Oh yeah.
I'm saying football all day,
That's
bro.
gravity. Like Lyle said, that's gravity. Hey,
Gravity is down.
man, I was 170 pounds in high school. I mean, I couldn't move nobody.
I see football.
Hey, and now I get that all the time.
You know, the man body is different. You look at Michael Jordan in his early days, and then when he got really Michael Jordan.
Man.
Okay, my bad. I'm not.
Me and my girl go a lot of places. I get approached by that all the time. You play football? Never a day in my life. I did when I was growing up. But yeah, not growing up. But I was able to get a scholarship, and I didn't have an aspiration of being a professional athlete.
Right.
My dream was always the same. Shit, I'm gonna get my scholarship, get my degree, do what I gotta do. I'm gonna be CEO at 25. That's what it was.
That's exactly
bottom line.
What Shell was trying
nothing
to
was
show.
gonna derail that goal, but
That's awesome. What school you go to?
I went to high school at Hutch. Then I went to Odessa Junior College. Graduated there. I went to Division II school in Oklahoma because I didn't want to go too far from home. But my senior year, my final year in college, my last semester.
In Odessa, bro.
It was all right, man. When you got basketball, sports bring family.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
I wasn't like most students. When I got there, I didn't feel alone because I had 12 brothers on the team.
Gotcha.
So I was able to adapt easy.
Exactly.
But when I left college, my senior year, my last semester, when I came home for Christmas, my daughter was born in September.
Oh, wow.
And I was a young parent, the mom wasn't working. It was a struggle for her, so I had a decision to make. I mean, I can be a man and own up to responsibility, or I can go back and finish one last semester. But life took me to be a father over a degree. So, of course, like he said, my career was over, and it was all about the job, supporting the family. So that's what I ended up doing, but shoot, man, 20 years later, I ran up on credit repair. I just ran into it, wasn't even looking for it.
Much needed.
You know what that is, though.
Yeah, grace.
That's God.
Yeah.
That's grace.
That's God.
And I said on it
because you obeyed back then and stepped up for your daughter. Let me bless you today for the sacrifice you made then. Because a lot of people can't make that sacrifice.
Well, he blessed me twice because I ran up on the credit repair company, was working on that for like 2 or 3 years, and then he blessed me with this beautiful woman over here.
Shout
And
out.
I'm sitting on it.
You can give her a shout out.
Brittany McGee, my baby. I'm sitting on it, making it work, and what I should do. And she said, listen, you'll never get it right unless you just jump out there with it.
Right, exactly.
So I'm thinking, okay, first of the year I'm going to launch. She said, nah, we're going to launch next week.
Wow.
And that following next week, I launched the company and been rocking and rolling ever since.
Oh, man, that's
And I'm over here saying exactly, and I've been sitting on some dreams myself.
But let me touch on something Lyle said, because I think what he said was real important as far as how he had that family background. And I think that's important because, even though I had a dream, I'm 43 years old. I had old school grandparents, old school parents. I was the first person to ever go to college.
Right.
They couldn't teach me nothing they didn't know.
Right, exactly.
That was like foreign language to my pops, but so I didn't get a lot of support because they can't support what they don't know. They just, I don't know what you're doing, it's like the blind leading the blind. But I think that being supportive, it had that support base, and I think it's really important now that kids have support, but not only that, if you can't find a support, you need at least a mentor of some sort.
Exactly.
Somebody that's doing what you do because they can give you the guidance that you need. And I think that's important. You need that guidance because my daughter, she go to Clark Atlanta now. She 3.7 Dean List her final year of school.
Wow.
But
That is awesome.
she was able to excel because I've been through that.
Right.
I can teach her and guide her every step of the way.
Yeah.
Now, in my household, everybody going to college.
Yeah.
Every last one of my kids going to, because that's what they taught. And it's funny because I talked to my youngest brother. He said, man, I'm over here rewarding my kids for making C's. And my brother won't even give his daughter something for making a B. But I expect them to be great and excel in school because
Expectations,
you don't
yes.
have anything to do. You come home and do chores and study. That's not work. That's your job. So
And
you
they do
should.
chores. And they do
Oh,
chores.
you got now. Come on, that's one thing ain't never going away.
Old school,
But
right
you have to
there.
do
Yes,
chores, and you got to study. But
Chores
your
develop.
I'm convicted right now, bro. For real.
Chores develop
Hey,
character.
listen,
I'm be so proud of my baby.
I know stuff you
I
don't.
don't even make her do her chores, you know.
Man, hey.
Don't worry about it.
Chores
You're on the road.
Chores give you
I
discipline.
mean, you're
Very
in,
much so.
what is it called? Y'all can tell I messed up in school. Honor Society.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I give her a pass.
But you ain't get no pass
Yeah.
because you got to do. You got to. You got
just
to.
convicted. I didn't think I wanted. I mean, I felt something in you, but I didn't think it was gonna be for me.
Well, you have to stay on her because
just gave
my
me
daughter's
something.
smart. She thinks she can get by without studying. But now she got harder classes. Now she understanding how time management goes. But like I tell her, she hate me because I ride her all the time.
supposed
But
to, man.
at the end, I know where you're going to be headed. I see what you can't see as a
Right.
parent. So
Right.
And they
you
respect
don't see the
it.
potential. Yeah,
Definitely,
you don't see the
yeah.
potential that I see in you because one, you're a young woman, you're beautiful, and you smart. Eventually, you're gonna meet guys that smart too. So you have to be prepared to know how to balance your life
Wow.
because you can get distracted. And your grades is the one outlet that's gonna keep you focused. You're gonna keep smart. You're gonna be focused and sharp, and that'll
Do
take
you
you a
realize
long
what
way.
you just said, bro?
Yeah, right.
Right.
You're gonna meet guys that are just as smart.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
You're
You
gonna
took
attract.
that-
You're
that's
gonna
a
attract
whole
what you
nother
are.
topic,
Yeah.
bro.
Hey, man, listen. I did a lot of stuff in my day,
Yeah, yeah.
but when
I know you ain't sitting for green.
well, I'm just saying, when God bring people in your life, like He brought my girl, that changed my whole outlet on a lot of stuff because not only was she young, beautiful, but she was smartest and had that fire in her,
Yeah, yeah.
which in turn lit my fire to do stuff that I always wanted to do too.
Yeah.
So she became like my support base on what I needed to do. She pushed me when I don't even want to be pushed. I hate her sometimes, but hey, it works in the end. And I got that same fire toward my daughters because one day, hey, I hope they grow up and be like her. It's hard for you to tell anything. She gonna fight you on everything, but she got direction and know where she going in life. And as a woman, I think that's important for them to know that regardless of what you run into, whether it be a guy, life, kids, you gotta always stay focused on what you're going and knowing that I'm your support base. I'm your dad. I ain't got no dog in the
I
fight.
totally agree that
So-
we are their first date. We are their first love. We are their first man. And we have to show them we got you.
And you
This
have.
is what you should expect.
You really have to understand too. I love it. Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, you have to.
Y'all need to
You
see
know,
what just happened.
I know, right?
Oh my goodness. I love that. I love that. I love that. All I got was a cup of ice.
Hey, you got at least you got something. Hey, let me see. Lyles, Morgan, and Dre ain't got nothing.
Right.
Hey,
We got cigars. That's about it.
you got that
Oh
yourself.
man. So let me wrap this up. I want to come back to each one of y'all individually, let y'all close out. I'm going to give my little quick, and it won't be long. I'm still stuck on this daughter thing, man. We're going to hook up. We're going to the studio. Or we'll do another thing live. Anyway, I wanted to be a pilot, commercial pilot to be exact. And I just always was very interested and very impressed whenever I saw a pilot walking through the airport. I don't care who walked through an airport that was famous. If I saw a pilot in his uniform, his swag alone it really encouraged me. It really impressed me. So I did go to school. Couldn't afford to get flight lessons at the time. So I was encouraged through a counselor to do the airframe and power plant, which is working on airplanes. And being in the hangar, working on planes, and watching, I'm gonna say younger, rich Caucasians. That's all you ever saw on the tarmac. They were doing touch and goes while we were in there sweating and working on planes. Now working on these planes and getting that education was just as important, but I had nobody that could tell me how important it was and how life-changing it would be if I stuck with it. Because nobody could tell me. My mama didn't do it, my daddy didn't do it. My mom was a very encouraging woman in my life. My dad gave me everything I needed to survive in the streets. They were night and day. They were married till she died. However, my dad gave me things that helped me when I was doing wrong, and my mom gave me things that would help me if I was doing right. Later in life, I got that. And when I need to repeat it. But seriously, man, it's my truth. Having a son opened my eyes to, hey man, what are you gonna do with life? And I had a responsibility that I took, and that was that young lady sitting over there, and our son, and I owned it. I really owned it. The easier and faster route for me wasn't to go back and get flight time. It was to get into a transportation industry that was striving and that would take care of my family, and that was driving trucks, which led to me owning trucks. And I've done well, I can't complain, but it's been hard. However, I am a black entrepreneur. I am a husband that has done good. I am a daddy that has done great. And I can only judge myself to my dad, you know? So I say to anybody that's listening, whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, if you haven't figured out it's your passion, you still need to make plans, find someone that's in it, hang out with them, talk to them, be honest, so they can give you an honest opinion. And anyone that's listening to this that may have a son or a daughter or anybody that's stuck in between, whatever your experiences were, you need to share with them to help them. I think that in life, one of our problems as black people is that we don't share our truths to the younger generation. And when we begin to do that, we can change their mindset. I know in my mom and grandparents' lives, we couldn't talk about certain things. It was taboo. So they kept us in the green on certain life-changing things. A lot of the things I went through as a young adult, it was going on prior to me doing it. But they didn't tell me about it. Not that I needed to know the bad, but yeah, I needed to know the bad so I could know the outcome of the bad. You know, and running around these streets in Dallas changed my life. Thank God for keeping me. But I didn't have it. You know, I didn't have the knowledge of, hey man, that's good now. But there's a tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And it's not promised. So even though you're okay today, what if tomorrow doesn't come? Or what if tomorrow comes and you got to pay the consequences? That hurts. But I didn't get that side. My daddy gave me all the game in the world with being out here in these streets. But he didn't give me the real about the consequences of. I learned that on my own. And thank God, because I'm open with my kids. I share with them, you know what I mean? And I think that's important, man. If you got a dream, live it out, because you're not thinking of it for no reason. It's a reason that it's on your mind. It's a reason you wake up excited about a particular thing. And maybe we need to research that and move forward with it. I encourage anybody listening, run with it, grab it, own it, and do it. You guys, y'all can finish up on it, man, however you feel. Please leave a real, you know, whatever it is in your life you want to share.
Well, another thing is taking advantage of opportunities when they come up.
Yeah.
You know, opportunity is what it is. It's based on time, and it's not promised to come back to you again. I missed out on opportunity that, you know, we started talking about careers and well, I had a different I had an opportunity to be one of the first black cameramen, and when I was given that opportunity, a man by the name of John Shrimp that worked for Panavision, and he knew there had never been anybody black. This was before Spike Lee, before any other guy. I was 16 years old, and he was trying to give me an opportunity to do that, and I was so scared and fearful that I've never seen a black person do this or do that I didn't seize that moment, and that's one of my regrets, I guess, as far as
How old were you
opportunity.
then?
I was 16 years
16,
old.
okay.
So I was a kid, but I'm in a grown-up world. At the time that I seen him, I was working and I was making money, making good money, but I could not conceive myself being one of the first black cameramen. I couldn't see that.
Let me ask you this. When you look back at what your dream was, which didn't come to pass, when you look back at finally figuring out what it is for you in life, are you happy today?
Oh, I'm happy. I've been blessed beyond measure.
Exactly.
I've been so blessed that I could go on and on and on, but that's just one of the things that I did not take the opportunity to do. However, I've worked with Spike Lee. I've worked with a lot of great people.
How did he say Spike Lee? All due respect to Spike Lee.
Yes, sir.
But how would he name Spike Lee? And I know this man had to work with Ray Charles, B.B. King. Are you serious?
Yes,
And
sir.
Prince.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But Spike
I've
Lee
been
is who you
blessed.
wanted to mention.
Well, no.
I just
I can mention a lot of people, but that was just one of, the first. Yeah, the first.
So you're happy with where you are, and I'm going somewhere with this.
I'm. It's the difference between happy and being satisfied. I'm happy.
I don't think
But
personally, I would never be satisfied.
I'm
I'm
not
not greedy. I just have goals and aspirations.
Exactly.
And I don't put a cap on that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I can't put a cap
my
on
God
what
too big for me to cap my life.
Exactly.
Yeah, so,
Satisfaction can be for that task.
yeah.
Right. There's many areas.
next.
There's
You
many
don't have to-
areas.
You don't
Right.
have to be satisfied overall. But
Well, we speaking. I was
yeah,
speaking
you don't have to.
in-
You don't have to be
in
satisfied
lifestyle.
overall. Yeah, I get you.
So with you, Big Lyles, you pretty much did what you saw. Are you happy? I mean,
yeah, I'm happy to some extent, but I really do think I missed out on the entrepreneurial spirit. Like I look at my man.
you never thought about opening your own school?
Again, there's fear involved in that.
Oh,
And that's probably my Achilles. It's that going out on a limb and having that partnership or that partner. And I wanted to piggyback on that partner. You have to have a partner, meaning a mentor that's ingrained in you and with you as one. The partner, if you break that word down, that
Yeah.
person is a
Oh, yeah.
part of you.
Yeah.
Like when we partner with another group, like what we're doing now, partnering with Smoking Jacket to do this segment. You have to be able to partner with someone who takes a vested interest in your life and give you the real X's and O's, not sugar-coated, totally transparent. And if you're hiding, you won't ever be successful.
right.
I spent time hiding.
Yeah.
I spent time running, even though I was doing things with kids, managing kids' lives, managing other people's lives, but then my life was taking a down spiral because I wasn't doing what I was teaching,
Wow.
if that makes sense.
But,
yeah, it
but
does,
transparency is something learned.
It's-
Honestly,
is.
I'm just now understanding that at my age.
And
right
it's
now.
still even
We
transparency.
talked about that outside the studio one night.
He's nailing that. But
Yeah, but even transparency is not just being an open book. Transparency is being able to give when you feel is needed. You don't.
Well,
It's not like just being totally.
we have a position to play, and
Exactly.
everything ain't for everybody.
Exactly. Yeah.
But as long as you under the rim and following God,
that's exactly.
He's gonna show you. Like I know when I meet somebody, this young man needs this part of my life.
Right.
And I'm going to give it to him both barrels. I'm not going to hold back. So if it knock you down, young man, just get back up. I'm going to help you dust yourself
And
out.
that's
but
what
I'm not
I
going to pick you up.
and that's exactly
Pick
what I want.
yourself up. I'm going to dust you off. We're going
That
to move forward.
love-
But I'm going to give it to him.
Love is the ultimate.
Because I know I ain't went through this. I say this a lot of times. You go through things and God allow you to go through them. But it's not for you. It's for who you're going to meet down the road.
Yeah,
It's your
But
experience
A1,
to
that's
share.
what makes you successful. I was looking at just dissecting the word success, man. And it's really not measured by how much money you make, but really,
Not at all.
It's on how many lives you change.
Change. Yeah. Let me ask you this.
and you have to redefine what success is for whatever circumstance that is.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Because your success could be just taking care of your family
Absolutely.
and everybody
Absolutely.
being comfortable.
Absolutely.
Your success could be being that CEO. Your
Success is defined on you, man.
Oh,
You define your
exactly.
success because it makes what makes you proud of being who you are.
Yeah.
right.
You
have
can't
to
define
you
my
really have to
success.
love
Not at all.
I
I mean,
keep-
I could say who you are to me,
exactly.
but in your particular life, you totally have to have that understanding of what success
Absolutely.
is for yourself. You know what I mean?
And so-
I'm your number one fan when you own.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right,
And you
right,
really,
right.
and I skipped this. You have to love. I keep throwing that in. You have to love what you're doing. You have to love
You
yourself.
gotta have a passion for it,
have
man.
to love
You
what
have- The love is, that is, it's biblical, without preaching.
Oh yeah. Well, we
But
try
love-
not to be
yeah,
that. But
exactly.
yeah,
but
yeah,
love is important, and a lot of times, and I keep going back to the youth because that's where I am.
yeah.
They don't love themselves,
They don't know how.
or they
sometimes.
don't know how, or they don't know how to comprehend what that may mean, and how that catapults their life into success, because they have to love what they're doing. They can't not want to be told anything wrong or anything that's constructive and expect to be better.
Right.
So have y'all figured out what y'all gonna do? at
No,
this
hold
moment?
on. Are you happy where you are? Because
Let me explain.
I know that you're not an educator right now.
Happy and
But
joyful is different.
I think you educate more people. This is God designed. You're not an educator. You're not a scientist. Although what you put together sometimes, that's scientific. You understand? It's just not a blueprint to it. You can go home, you can sit down, you can produce a song, and that's all mental. That's God working through you when you open-minded to do your music. So you may not be in the classroom teaching, Dre,
but
but
you're an
you
educator.
sharing a story through music and educating through music. So I'm gonna ask you, same thing I ask everybody else. Are you happy today, even though you was a little sidetracked?
I'm extremely happy, A1.
Yeah.
It took probably I turned 45 this year. Couple
He say
months.
that like it's old.
No, but I'm saying this because there's some people that's going to hear this, man, and they're going to say, you know what, I'm still searching. Well, it took me, I want to say maybe, honestly, maybe even within the last year, to really be happy with what way I change people's lives.
Yeah.
Because I'm living this life out that I'm this life that I live right now, I take it serious. I'm changing lives on everything I do, man. With my music, I take that extremely serious, man. The type of music I do, everything ain't lyrical. It might not have words to it.
Well, that's even better to me. This is why. It lets other people come up
With their own, right? I deal, it's dealing with the emotions. So
We're gonna collaborate. I mean,
yeah, so
we have to.
that's
We have to
what I do. And over last year, man, helped me to realize how many lives it actually touched, man. Some of the emails I got, man, from different countries, man, I was like, man, wow, it really touched my spirit, Even the career change that I've made outside of the music industry. I was telling you about some of the things I do on the career path. I went into healthcare also. Everything that I do now, A1, it's about me changing lives.
Right.
And I take it, I'm riding this life out that I got now. These two things that I'm doing now with the healthcare and with the music, baby, I'm riding it out, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm riding it out. This is what I do, man, and I'm
That's
comfortable
one of my
with it.
main focus,
Yeah.
man. I want to change a life, even if it's from my coat and blanket drive
Right.
to everything else I do, bro. If I go out on the streets, man, I beat the block one evening. One evening. If I find one homeless person, bro, and I wrap him up in a blanket, and to be honest, there been times I pulled him a little shot of Hennessy
Wow.
because I knew it warmed him up and he ain't had none.
Right.
You hear me? And I know he probably doing way more than that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are homeless because they mental. Some people are homeless because they fell on hard times. My point is, I want to change somebody's life. I want somebody to look at me and say, hey, man, they can't care about me. Genuinely. And I accept that in my life. Is that just me? That's what God gave me. And I'm riding with it, bro.
You doing it now, though?
Trying.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's
know.
working.
I mean, I know when it's time. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I ain't giving everything to everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when God showed me this person, I mean that. Care how long it take, and I try to build long-lasting.
Well,
bonds.
and I'm done after this.
No, you good,
But
man.
no,
You good.
but education edifies people, and it's a ripple effect. So you may not give what you have to everybody, but who you give it to may throw that at somebody else.
Somebody else. Yeah.
So it is totally ripple.
it's way bigger than us.
Bottom line, I mean,
Yeah.
no matter if you put it in the atmosphere, it's gonna touch somebody some way, somehow, through osmosis or however it is.
Yeah.
So you may not feel like that person is worthy of it at that point.
You got
but
down that time. For real. When you
But
think
it-
about the longevity of what you've given.
You never know where it's coming from. I sponge, like, education is reciprocal because a lot of the students I work with don't know that they teach me a lot at the end of the day, right? So, and what they're teaching me may not be stuff out of a book or something that we learned in college or anything about any scholars or anything like that. But they're teaching me how to be humble.
Yeah.
They're teaching me that challenges that they have, they're getting up smiling at me, and I probably couldn't face that fact of things that they go through on a daily basis living in the hood.
I have a real good friend. She was going to be on the episode last week that we recorded, but she went back to Houston. Anyway, she's trying to, one of her goals is to open her own school. She's very capable of doing it. I know she'll be successful. But she told me that she really truly couldn't understand how certain kids in certain positions in life, like their household, just like she didn't understand how they could be so happy, so encouraging of themselves.
When they're
You know-
living in such
For real.
whatever.
And
Yeah,
she said,
exactly.
she didn't want to go, she ain't been in a classroom in years, but she went back into a classroom. And I asked her, how your first week go? And she said, I actually learned something.
Right.
And she learned it from them. Yeah. So we're going to close this thing out. I want it from you. You happy?
Oh yeah.
Life
Can't be happy.
Yeah, and it ain't about material. It's just
Nah, nothing with material. It took me 43 years to find the love of my life.
so. Let me go and put this. How long y'all? I mean, like, how long y'all
We've been together a year.
Yeah.
The thing about it, don't worry about it. I'll rep for him. So, ladies listening, Fit by Britt, Wigs by Brittany, if you need to get in help or get your self-esteem up and looking good, because, with women, they look good, they feel good, their attitude is good, and they play a big role in a man's life,
I wouldn't be the man I am today, bro.
Hey,
I may have been the man I am today, but I really have to give credit to my wife, because one thing I've had is a woman that trusted me, and a woman that believed in me, and a woman that supported me. But I say this, and I've said it a lot of times: if a man gets under the umbrella of God, that woman can truly put her 100% trust in him. That don't mean it's gonna be perfect. Me and my wife, we started behind the 8 ball. You hear me? We started behind the 8 ball. But 20 years married. We dated 10, off and on. You know how that is in high school. And, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
She thought she was fly sometimes. I wasn't trying to hear it. But you knew better.
She not hearing. She not
But
hearing.
you knew better.
She act like she not hearing it now.
She listening. Oh, she listening. She listening.
I know. Yeah, they.
I told.
They
like
know
I
how
told
to.
Shell,
They know
your
how to
nephew
make
hear
it look
you.
like they're not.
He just may not
Oh,
respond.
yes.
But they sponge, man.
But listen,
you know,
my
so-
point is, when you're married or involved with, you have to have the support of that. If you don't have the support of that, it puts question in your mind.
It's biblical again.
You know,
they're that real.
so-
they're the real, man.
Yeah,
They're
that according to the Bible, I don't want to be biblical, but the real we give. You know what I mean? But she can trust us when we in line with what Christ wants us to be. Man, if we ain't following that, she following us blind because we living blind. So once we get under the right rim, man, our wives can follow. Like my wife can follow me. Do I have it all together? Nah. You know, but as a unit, we to be reckoned with. But I need her. And she needs me, I hope. You know what I'm saying? That's a joke. Of course we need each other. You know what I'm saying? We in this fight together, man. But she encourages me to be who I am in every avenue of life, man. For real. And I'm ready for the fight.
You have to be
whatever it
life
is.
partners, man.
Yeah. In work, in life, in meeting people, and dealing with people. I'm with it. We're gonna wrap this thing up, Sheldon.
Well,
You
know-
happy in life, man?
Well, I'm gonna say this.
We're gonna talk to our producer right now. I wish I could see him sitting over here with the headphones on and these glasses.
I'm gonna say this, man. All of you all have touched on something that I wanted to speak on as far as closing, but I'm just gonna say this. I am happy where I am, and I believe that if it took me a while to find out what it is that I enjoy doing, which I already knew what I enjoyed doing, I just had to find a way to get to it. And it's what I'm doing now. You know, I drive trucks for a living, but that's not my passion. You know, that's just something to pay these bills. But I don't hate it enough to leave it alone. So with that being said, anyone, adult, child, young man, young lady, teenager, whatever, continue to strive for your ultimate goal and find your gift. And if not, allow somebody to help you reach your goals and find your gift.
So, with that, one more time, man, I want to send a OneMic shout out. We're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this thing positive. And we just thank everybody who follows us, everybody who listens. And as always, we say together, we're here to change a life. We are OneMic.